Hello, hello.
Hello,
I'm Trent,
my name's Morgan.
and we are your casters for the night.
Thank you for joining us.
Now, yesterday, if you missed it, was our first stream for Keene State Esports. It was Rocket League, and it was against Purdue University. It was a near clean sweep. We did win, best of five, and a final score of 3-1.
Yes, and today our Overwatch team, our Owls here on campus, will be going up against Lindenwood University in Missouri. Hello to any viewers from Missouri. We're excited to compete with y'all in our first Overwatch match, Overwatch 2 match.
That's right.
Yeah. We're really excited. Our team has been practicing now for weeks. They're jazzed up. They just did a huddle right here in front of us, and we're ready to go.
Yeah. Now, we didn't get to, it was off stream, we did get to witness a scrim last week, last Tuesday at around this time. And that was near perfection, I would have to say. It was very well done. Owls did very, very good work against the enemy team.
Watching that scrim was a lot of fun. We were out here practicing. Watching our team go up against another was really great. Good to see our team getting that experience. And we're
Yes.
excited to face Lindenwood Lions tonight. Um, I know that they've been competing for a little bit, but we hope we have a fun match tonight.
Yeah, well said. Now, in case you aren't aware, Overwatch is a 5v5 team-based game with one tank hero, two DPS heroes, and two support heroes. There are several different match types. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so a couple of match types we might see today are, a payload match, typical payload, where we are working together on one team against the other team to complete an objective, like pushing a payload down the way. Usually that has to do with how many players we have on the team. Another match we might see is a sort of objective King of the Hill match where we have our two teams fighting with each other for dominance over an objective on the point.
Yeah. And then there's everybody's favorite game mode, Push,
Oh, yeah.
which can be thought of as reverse tug of war.
Hmm.
And the really fun mechanic about that one is basically if you get to the first checkpoint, you're pretty much guaranteed to win that match, which is unfortunate, especially if you are trying to defend from that. But it can make for some really fun plays, some really fun watch moments as well.
For sure. Um, and I'll have to disagree a little bit, Trent. Sometimes, if we have a team pushing, like they can come back. I've definitely been in a
Oh,
lot of
yeah.
matches myself where they come back. So
It's just more of a
it is
struggle.
definitely a little bit more of a struggle, but that makes the game just more
Definitely,
fun to
definitely
watch.
gets it to that 10-minute overtime.
For sure. Yeah, Trent and I have both been playing Overwatch and Overwatch 2 for a long time now.
Yeah.
You want to talk about your experience as a player?
I mean, I'm a day one player coming from Xbox, of all things, you know. Xbox supremacy. No, I kid. PlayStation definitely won that battle a long time ago. Um, but, your average Michael Bay fan, your average Junkrat main, no brain cells up in here, and a bio major.
Yep. So, for me, I've been playing Overwatch and Overwatch 2 for a long time, mostly on Xbox, but also on, on PC as well. Excuse me.
Fine.
And I'm mostly a healer main, so I'll be most knowledgeable about healers, but Trent
Yeah.
luckily knows every little thing about damage, which we
Oh,
love.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I love all things that deal damage, take damage, anything that wins the match. Which, is more of the tank's job, but we ignore that part.
And Trent and I do know that we have a lot of viewers in the audience who may not know how the game exactly works. So we'll be sure to do our best to explain what's going on, highlighting important events, explaining mechanics, all that sort
Yeah,
of jazz.
yeah. Calling out when ultimates are coming down, when players are eliminated, when somebody reaches a checkpoint or loses the objective.
Hmm.
All of that fun nitty gritty details. That's our job.
Yep, we'll be broadcast live right here. Ooh, we're gonna get invited to our match now. We're gonna load right in, and we're gonna be spectating here, controlling viewers' perspective of the match. So you have questions, put them in the chat. If we have time, if we have the capability, we can answer some. But we'll be mostly focusing on casting this
Mm.
game for all of y'all.
So we're going to get a look at the teams here. We do see Midas is going to be the tank. We see Tut and Hoodnut on DPS, and Swept and Shadow are going to be our support. What are you kind of expecting from our team here? Playing Lijiang Tower, which is a control map, meaning that there's just it's up to 3 rounds, King of the Hill style.
With Lijiang Tower, we've seen our team practicing on these maps a few times in the last couple of weeks. Seems like they have a pretty good sense of what they want to do for control. We'll have to see what they do pick, but I'm thinking we can see some of their regulars. Just want to wait until we get started before we announce what they might be playing.
Yeah, before we cast our predictions for that.
For sure. But I think we can expect some of our good old teams that we've been practicing with.
Yeah.
Been really impressed with the kind of gameplay we've been seeing from Hoodnut, Midas,
most definitely.
especially Swept on our healer. The team, our viewers at home can see we have our scores next to our players' names. Can you talk about a little bit what these scores are, just for the audience?
Yeah, so that's basically just how many times you've been endorsed. It's your endorsement level, which basically at the end of a match, if you're playing with random teammates, they can endorse you, or enemies, which most of the time they forget, can endorse you. And basically that just means you were just a generally good player and were respectful and stuff like that. So we do see we have a few level 3s. We have some level 4s on our time, which
we love that.
we love that. You love to see that. That's really, it's kind of a challenge to get up to that, especially when you're 5 stacking in a team game of 5 people. You can't endorse your teammates if you're in the same queue.
Oh, and looks like we are entering the game. So Lijiang Tower, this is a control point. So we will be we will be going over the map a little bit. So right now our team is assembling what they would like to play. We'll just give a quick little overview of what the map is. So as you can see, this is the main objective. In the middle of the map, our team is going to be coming out of one of these corridors, and it is pretty symmetrical, so the other team has the same exact perspective.
Yeah, I don't really want to give too much of an advantageous spawn for one team over the other. That just gets called out instantly in Twitter, and Blizzard gets canceled even further.
So we're going to go in and see what our team is doing now.
To keep a scope on Genji.
Now, we are seeing Hoodnut starting out on that Genji. That is kind of what I was expecting to see here. That is very typical Hoodnut behavior.
And we do see Midas on our tank Winston. So tanks, our damage dealers, and our healers play different roles, which we'll see. Tanks, they're going to be our kind of front runners doing the taking the most of the damage. Our damage dealers, Tut and Hoodnut, will be doing most of the damage, and then our healers will naturally be healing.
Yeah.
Now let's get right into it, observing Midas as we start to pick at one another here.
Now we do see Shadow does get the anti-out. Emor is coming out from Biggs on the Baptiste.
Midas
comes out from
back.
Swept to keep Midas alive there. Now, the thing about Swept, what I have to say is Swept is a god tier Lifeweaver player. From what I've seen, he's very good about using his grab, using his tree, just keeping his team alive. We do see a Hoodnut gets taken down by Zach, who is playing Soldier.
Midas is getting low there, backing up to get a bit more support from his healer, and Tut is down one of our DPS. Oh, and Swept's
down.
down.
Swept.
We are pushing back. We look like we're going to retreat a bit here to regain our footing.
Now, one thing that I am worried about here is seeing that Sky is playing Ramattra. Now, the thing about Ramattra is one of his fun little abilities is that he can punch through shields, and the big thing about picking a Winston is using that big shield, that big bubble to protect you and protect your teammates from taking any incoming damage.
Switching perspectives here, we're going to switch to Tut, which is on our hit scan hero called Soldier. This hero is really good at dishing out damage from mid to longer range. Let's see what he can do, see if he can get any picks on our other team here.
We do see that Bix does have his window, his ultimate ability ready to use. The thing about that is that it increases damage being dealt out. Nano comes out as well, also increases damage, but instead of shots being put through is just for that individual character. Midas does go down, unfortunately. The same with Hoodnut and Tut is just supports, and they're looking to retreat. Tree does go out from Swept. Unfortunately, kind of a waste there as he can't use it to keep his team alive.
We are going to retreat a bit more here and make sure that we aren't taking unnecessary damage and building the other team's ultimates. Looks like we have Midas coming back in, taking the charge.
That's what you like to see as a tank.
Yeah, and we're
Shield
getting
does
close.
go up from Ramontra, same with Vortex. Bubble going down.
We have a couple ultimates building here. Winston has his ultimate built. Oh, and he is down. Just too much damage there.
Unfortunately, the tank being taken out here. We do have Blizzard coming out from the Mei. The thing about that is that it freezes your enemies in place. Unfortunately, Hoodna is getting trapped in the Blizzard, plus the Lucio, plus the Ramontra, just all going after him. We hear Overclock coming out from the Sojourn. Not what you like to see. What that does is basically it instantly charges her damage to be the most it can be coming out, just nullifying, unfortunately, the soldier's visor. Midas goes down once again. You see Dragonblade going,
Unfortunate we got Annihilation out, which personally for me is one of my least favorite ultimates. Just really controls the point and can be very dangerous, especially when a lot of your teammates are low. So we are unfortunately going to lose that round, but that does not mean we can bring it back up. This game mode is best of 3. So we are going to play 3 rounds of control. We'll play 2 to 3 rounds of control, and it is best of that score. So we have some switches going on.
We are seeing some team swaps here. We see Shadow switching to the Lucio. We see Midas switching to the Reinhardt. Tut switching to the Sim, and Hoodnut switching to the Junkrat. Now, as a Junkrat player, it makes me happy, obviously. But this is, I do actually like this. Lucio for the speed boost to get you faster to the point. Tut for the TP to get you up to the point. Junkrat can just use his Conk Mines to get himself over there. We got the Ryan that can charge both himself towards the objective and enemies off of it. We hear some turrets being set up in place.
We are on the point. So the other team is going to get there. A lot of times with this objective points, it is whoever's
Ryan
there first.
Does get walled off, unfortunately.
And Midas is taking a lot of damage as Ryan Healer's got to get back up.
His shield
but
is
he is
unfortunately
going
down.
a lot of damage coming in. Without that shield, Midas is going to have to keep that damage.
Now, what I'm not liking here is there's a lot of counter picks towards Keene State's roster, unfortunately. We see the Reaper, which has shotguns which deal such high damage against tanks just because they have such large hitboxes. We see a Zarya, who just soaks up damage, and the more damage she takes, the more damage she puts out, which unfortunately with the Junkrat just being able to spam so much damage.
Life ripped out by Sweps, but it isn't enough to save
enough.
Hoodna on our Junkrat. Switch back to our Lucio, who is
just trying to stay alive here, trying to make sure that his teammates stay alive and are able to get back to the objective.
And our team is going to regroup here for another push into the map. We have plenty of time to get in there and take back the point.
And I don't know if you noticed that or not, but that entire time the objective was being contested. So they've just now captured the point. We do see the heal coming out. Tires coming out, unfortunately, does not get anybody.
But we
see the tree come out as well, which is really nice. So the thing
and just like that, we have taken the point back
sweep
from Lindenwood University. Good job.
Now, the thing about tree is it just produces so much health in such a large area that it pretty much just allows Swept to be a DPS temporarily. Obviously, you know, it's 2 supports for healing 3 people. He's gonna want to try and heal for the entire time.
So it looks like Lindenwood University is going to be taking a roundabout way. They're coming in the back end to the point. In that objective take, we did use quite a few of our ults, so we'll have to contest with the ults that
Reinhardt shield going down.
We have Graviton Surge coming
Life Grip
in.
comes out. We see Grab and Blossom coming out. We see the wall coming out as well.
See if Shatter gets taken off. Our Midas does have Shatter.
Midas trying to stay alive here, backing up, using the Sim wall to his advantage, and unfortunately, the Reaper shotguns just chip his health down to 0.
But that's okay. We did surpass them in percentage, so all we have to do is take that point back from Lindenwood.
Yep, and we do fortunately have the Shatter on the Reinhardt. We are 60% on Tire for Hood, 50% for Tree. But they do have that Blossom, and they almost have that Lucio beat, which just increases your health so dramatically that basically.
And we have May Blizzard coming out. This is going to freeze our entire
Life Grip
team.
comes out, keeps Tut alive temporarily at least, but it's not enough.
Now, what it seems that Lindenwood is trying to do now is keep our team off the objective in order for them to build more percentage on their count for the objective at the top of the screen.
This is when those sim teleports are going to be absolutely crucial to just get you instantly into the objective, to recapture it or at least stall it and get it into overtime.
Yes.
We do see the teleport comes out, but so does the May wall.
Which prevents us. Ooh,
Shatter
big
comes
shatter.
out, big shatter. Window and Beat and Emor are coming up, unfortunately. Tire went out, but got nobody. We see that the tree does go out. Ryan needs to stay alive here. I don't know why he's trying to focus the May. He needs to get to the objective and keep his team alive.
Sim, looks like we were able to cap that point. Good job, Keene State Owls. Let's get some Owls in the chat. Able to take that back. We are a little bit close. We're at 98% from Lindenwood, but we can retake that as long as we make sure we prevent them from keeping the fight on the point.
Exactly. That is a little too close for comfort, especially with them, with Lindenwood just needing to take this objective and win the match.
But that's okay. We got plenty of game time tonight. This is not the only map we will be fighting.
Exactly.
Now, the ultimates we have, so we do have a couple of them getting close to 50%, but we for sure have a Symmetra ult, which essentially builds a giant shield across the map. So it'll be interesting to see how Tut uses that Symmetra ult.
We do see the May wall coming out, blocking the tank from getting any heals from his supports.
Pops
The wall
that ult.
goes out. Very good use there. Just separating the Zarya, the enemy's tank, and supports away from dealing damage on our team.
And that is a great hold by Keene State College. We are hitting 94, 95%.
We do need to stay by the objective just in case they try and back cap it here. Don't want to C9 this.
We could potentially see some switches. There we go. We have a speed character, Moira, coming in to try and hold the objective for Lindenwood to get us into overtime. Another player coming in, Lucio, and we have a...
The Blossom comes out as well, so does the Shatter, though. Lucio needs to be taken out here. He's keeping his team alive.
Oh, and Sim,
The
no.
Doomfist comes out as well. We do see the Tracer switch coming out too now.
Going to Midas here up against Doomfist. He's low. They're both low, and he's down.
And he takes him out.
Midas
he
is
does
here
need
alone.
Help here, though.
Oh, and unfortunately that he is down. Let's see what we made any switches to get in there quick. Lindenwood does need to take that point back
B
still.
comes out.
This is quite the team fight coming in.
We see Hoodnut coming in as Junkrat, able to do just so much damage. Takes out their Lucio, but gets taken out by the Moira, unfortunately. Swap pumping out as much heals and as much damage as he can, keeping his teammates alive while taking out the enemies. Midas putting in absolute work with that hammer.
This is quite the tug of war on the point. Ooh.
And kills that Tracer.
And just like that, Keene State College takes this objective. Woo. My heart skipped a beat there.
Yeah, that's a little too close. That is a little too close.
We have to keep them guessing there, Trent.
Yes, we do, Morgan.
We're going into our third and final round for this, so each team has 1 point. Talk to us a little bit about this map, Trent.
Yeah, so this one specifically, it has a lot of vertical height, a lot of vertical sight lines, but it also has a lot of cover from the low ground. It has statues, it has walls, it has windows, all that fun stuff. We are going to see Hoodnut sticking with the Junkrat here, which I do like. It has a lot of good angles where the thing about Junkrat is his gun is a frag launcher, basically. So shoots out frags and those just drop. There's a lot of sneaky angles where you can just lob at the enemy, get the damage in.
And we are teleporting
into the objective immediately. We do see Krizak getting that Ash on the enemy team. I do like that pick. Unfortunately, it's for them just because of the sight lines here.
Yeah, on the other team, it looks like we do have a lot of hit scan, quick damage, range damage for our team, which may oh, and Swept is down already. He is shot out by the Ash.
Especially with that being one of our supports.
A strong first pick from Lindenwood.
Hood does go down, unfortunately. We need to keep the Ryan alive here. Being the tank, his job is to keep his own teammates alive, but when he's so weak, it's kind of his priority to stay alive there.
He's down.
We did take objective. Unfortunately, it's only for 11% though.
Any percentage we can get is a win for me, Trent.
I'm
glad we were able to get it.
Yeah. We do see Hoodnut switching off to the good classic Genji.
Looks
his
like
bread and butter.
Looks like we're regrouping here a bit before we get back in there, which is a really good strategy. You don't want to rush quite so super fast back into the match, especially when you don't know what you're facing.
Yep, and you don't want to stagger yourself either, because the moment you start staggering, the moment you start losing, that's That's respawns that are delayed just between teammates that they can just take advantage of.
For
We do
sure.
see the Emor field coming down on the enemies,
Oh, and we're jumping onto the other team's healers. Let's see if he's able to get that Zenyatta down.
and he's
he
unable
isn't.
to survive. We do see Tut coming back a little late. Hoodnut is weak. Does manage to pick off the Zenyatta though. He's looking for some more. Deflect coming out.
Trying to get their healers. Oh, and he is down.
And unfortunately,
Shot out by
just shot out.
Vix. We're going to switch over to Midas now, back to our tank Winston. So Winston is a gorilla. That's his character. So he does have a lot of fast movement capabilities, which could be good on a map like this, as long as he can get in and out without dying to the other team.
As long as he keeps LOS to his supports, that's all that he really needs.
So we're seeing that strategy again from Lindenwood, keeping us off the objective, just doing a lot of high damage to keep us from capping the point.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see what our team does here. They were able to overcome that last map, which we love to see. So we'll see if we're able to.
We do see Midas, the big old gorilla, trying to be sneaky here. We see Beat coming out.
Ooh,
Bob goes out as well.
Very good.
Now the thing about Ash's ult being Bob is it basically acts as your sixth player here. If you look in the top left or top middle, it says
Tactical
contested.
Visor coming in. Oh,
We
in
see
and ult.
Dragons coming out from the Hanzo as
Will
well.
he pop ult? He doesn't need to.
He doesn't need to.
Got to get out of
Needs
that
to stay
ult.
alive here.
Oh.
Activates primal range to keep himself alive from the Sigma ult. Sigma ult does
Trying to throw them off
50%
the
of your
map.
total health.
Ooh.
And it's a trade. They need a touch here if they
Someone
want
needs
to
to
contest
touch
it.
the map. Oh, and unfortunately, I don't
And
think we
it's
were able to get
unfortunately
on
just
there.
not able to touch.
So close.
And round one
Very
goes
good.
to Lindenwood.
That's okay. We got a long road to go.
Yeah.
Play of the game.
We got play of the game from Azaria. Haven't seen that
In a
in a
hot
while.
minute.
Zarya is another tank. This is Lindenwood's tank, which achieved play of the game. And these are determined by whatever sort of
Whatever
points-
algorithm
Blizzard
uses.
creates.
Back
So
in the
good to
day, that
see.
was getting a 5-man res on Mercy.
Oh, I had a lot of those.
Ah, the good old days. The good old
Yeah.
glory days of Overwatch. Come back, Jeff. We miss you. Now, what I think what we really lacked there that last game is just picking out a target to team focus and getting staggered because of it. We saw Midas diving in, getting a few picks, but unfortunately not having the supports to back that up. We saw Hoodnut, we saw Tut going in, getting a few picks, having the support to back that up, but no tank. And just having that stagger between teammates can cause so much chaos on your own team, cause such a dilemma, and just allow the enemies to just secure that point, secure that win.
No, I think you know, there was a little hesitation, but I think there was a lot of great plays that we had there as well. Seeing us take back that point on the second map was great. Seeing our team work together on that in that overtime play, ooh,
Yeah.
my heart was pumping there. So I'm excited to see what else our team can do in these games coming up. We got a couple more maps, a couple more different types of gameplay or objectives, excuse me, that I think our team will do good on. Game's not over. For sure, we're very far.
Oh, most definitely. Now, we do not know what map, what game mode, what heroes are next. We're just in the dark as you are.
Yeah, we will load into the next one as soon as both teams ready up here. Hello, everybody. We are back. So we do see our next map now. We are going into King's Row, which is kind of a hybrid map. Trent, do you want to talk about this one for our viewers?
Yeah, it is exactly a hybrid map. So what that means is, like the previous maps, the control maps, there is a point objective that needs to be captured. However, the thing about this is that once it's captured, it transforms into a payload map. So each team has a chance to attack and a chance to defend. The first team that attacks has their main objective, obviously, is to win, but is to also get to the final objective as quickly as possible, so that if it were to go into overtime, they have as much time as they need to try and just beat out the other team.
Yep.
And the thing about this one, especially with King's Row, I don't know about you, fan favorite.
It is definitely one of my favorite maps on defense and attack, to be honest. I feel like there's a lot of maps where I might be
where it's a little
more favorable to
one-sided.
the other. But I think this is going to be a good map. We've seen our team play on this map throughout the weeks. To me, they were looking pretty solid. So I'm excited to see what we go with for picks. If there's any differences from our last match, I think we'll see some different stuff going on.
Yeah, I mean, on attack, if you've ever played Overwatch, if you've ever played King's Row Overwatch on attack, it's classic to have that Widow Hanzo strat. Just have somebody get up to the very height of spawn, just kind of look around, try and get some cheeky picks onto the enemies. And even if you don't get any picks, you can at least gather a lot of intel of who's running who, where they are, if they have a tour, where turrets are set up, all that fun stuff. And I mean, I don't expect to have a Widow here. Could see what comes up. Now I'm expecting to be on that Genji, though. He's always on that Genji grind. Alright, we just heard the call from Noah. Lock in, people. We've got this.
Here we go. So now we are in map. We'll do a little preview here of what the map looks like. Quite a lovely map.
Yeah.
Over here, we will have our first objective where our team will have to cap this point.
Or defend it.
In order to move the payload forward down the street. One team will spawn from here. The defending team will spawn from the other map and get a little bit of time to set up, which is nice.
Yeah, they get exactly 45 seconds, not only to walk from their spawn, but to set up and try and defend this.
So it does look like our Keene State Owls will be defending this match. Here they come. They are going to have a little over under 30 seconds at this point to set up and prepare for the other team to attack, essentially, and try to cap this point.
Which, honestly, it's plenty of time.
Looks like we're taking some different positions here. This intercept here will be very crucial. There's a lot of, this is a hard point to hold, also a hard point to get through. So
yeah,
we'll
it's a very critical choke point, especially with Huna on the Junkrat. We see Midas being on the Orisa. Now, we haven't seen an Orisa tonight. She did recently get a buff, which has made her absolutely one of the most necessary tanks in comping just regular competitive play.
Especially when you're seeing a lot of damage. And if we see the other team tank trying to push past here, a lot of damage coming into Midas, but our healers are able to get them back up. And they're going around, trying to kind of circle around our team to get to the objective point.
Yeah, we don't like seeing Midas getting overwhelmed here on all sides, especially when the main is throwing out walls trying to block.
That can be very scary for our tank. We have Tut going down. Midas is down, unfortunately. We'll switch over to our healer, who's trying to keep Huna alive.
And it's just unfortunately not enough.
Shadow Storm. Trying to see if he can pull her back. Hopefully, if he backs up a little bit. There we go. And
unfortunately, that is going to be Lindenwood getting that first objective with 5.5 minutes to push it to the first checkpoint.
So what our team here is going to have to try to do is delay the other team to getting to the end of the point. We want to make sure we're wasting as much time as possible, so the other team essentially does not make it to the end by the 5 minutes. So let's see what our team does. It looks like we have a good position here set up.
Hood switching to that Reaper. I think that's a smart play, especially with that Ramatra, who can just block damage. I mean, it reduces damage. It doesn't block all of it, luckily. But he still just soaks up so much damage without actually taking a lot. We do hear the window going out. There is that Evil going out as well. There is Overclock is almost ready. Annihilation is ready. There is Blizzard ready. And we have... Oh, just so much not going our way right now.
That's okay. Lucio's close. We are able to hold this point a bit better. The team hasn't, Lindenwood hasn't pushed it as far as they may have wanted in
Hut
this
is
push.
trying to stay alive here with Shadow just having his back.
And they are pushing the objective forward. Hopefully we can hold them here at this next point. Tut is
Trying to get some cheeky damage, build up that ult charge.
Yeah, our team is close to a couple ults. We do have 2, and 2 more are close behind. Lindenwood does have 4 ultimates ready now.
We do hear the Overclock come out. We see the Visor coming out as well. We see the Beat come out as well. Tree is going up now. Blizzard as well.
Yeah.
So many ults coming out.
A lot of
We do
ultimates
see
popped.
Ramatra does get antied by Shadow. Unfortunately, Shadow goes down. So I'm trying to keep Midas alive here.
Unable.
It looks like they are just going to, unfortunately, secure this next checkpoint.
And he's blocked off by that Mei wall. That Mei wall has been a problem this game. So one of Mei's abilities is putting up that ice wall, which can block off our players from each other. It can be quite dangerous, especially when you have a lone survivor who's trying to back up.
Yes. We do see Ramatra, the tank, pushing up, keeping our team at our spawn. That's not what you want to see here, especially with how much time they have. Jav goes out, doesn't get anybody, unfortunately.
Midas here, soaking up some damage, trying to get us past this choke here.
We do see that does have Death Blossom ready. We could see that come out soon. Windows going down.
Oh, and
We do see, unfortunately, that Emor does go out, which just keeps the enemies alive no matter what.
Switch back to Midas here. We're going to see if we can hold on point. And there goes the Reaper
There goes the
ultimate.
Death Blossom. Unfortunately, only getting the Baptiste with that. Ramatra is one. Does get taken out by Tut. Blizzard going out. Midas goes down.
You're powered up. Get in
Nano
there.
goes out,
Nano
but it's not
out.
in time to do anything.
That was a good effort on our side here.
A good try, good solid
Good
effort.
effort.
Unfortunately, 3 minutes and 50 seconds left for the overtime round.
Well, let's
for
see. We'll
Lindenwood.
have to push it faster than they did. So I'm curious to see what we end up doing here. Okay,
Yeah,
we're going to
so-
go through this map a little bit so our viewers at home can see.
Again, I think the big issue here is we're just getting caught out, getting caught off guard, and getting staggered, which is unfortunate. You don't like to see that, especially with how well Lindenwood is just able to push forward and take so much space off of a couple of picks.
Yeah, that Mei wall has been a bit of an issue for us. We'll see what we can do to maybe counter that or prevent it from separating our team up.
We do see Tut is on the Widow, and this is exactly what I was talking about before. Just going to this top window, waiting just in case the enemies do try and spam out damage, try and take out any potential Widows or Hanzos that are up there.
Widow is our sniper, one of our sniper heroes. She's probably like the most stereotypical sniper.
Yeah.
If you can get those shots, you can get kills really quickly. So we've seen Tut, and let's see if he's able to get any picks or any information from this first little peek here.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about. We see that Ramatra and that Mace spamming out damage just in case there's anybody up there. We see Sojourn far back. they're not actually holding that choke, allowing us to just get some free space here.
Yeah, we're going to switch over now to Midas on the Zarya, coming in the front line. We were able to get past that choke, which can be difficult. Ooh, and Hoodnut is down. Just a lot of damage from
does
that
hit
Mei.
the ante onto Sky on the Ramatra.
We are backing up now just because we lost one player. One damage could make the difference between a win or a loss here, Trent.
Especially
so we gotta make
with
sure
that
we're a full
Baptiste on the
team.
enemy team, just able to pump out so much healing in such a short span of time.
Now I'm thinking the Zarya pick here is going to be good. There is a lot of damage coming out from the other team. So how Zarya works is she absorbs that damage, and then that goes into how much damage she creates. So if she can absorb enough damage, she can dish out a lot in response.
We do see the wall coming out from the main, trying to block off Hoodnut on the Reaper. He does manage to stay alive. We see the break from Swept as well. Kind of a surprise pick. We usually see him on the Life Weaver, which is one of the reasons why he was picked for Keene State Esports.
And they are backing up, letting us take the point here a bit.
We do see Hoodnut teleporting up top, trying to get some cheeky picks. We hear the Blizzard going out. It unfortunately gets both Midas
Blizzard
and Hoodnut
freezes
in
us
it.
on the point. Sweps was able to survive it, retreating just to regroup with our team.
But Shadow, unfortunately, does get killed there.
And that will stagger Shadow, so our team will have to wait a second to regroup.
Especially when losing a support.
So Shadow's back up. We're going to get back in there. Pick up our weapons. Try again. We've got a couple more tries.
Yep. We do see so much spam damage coming in from the enemy team. We do choose to go through choke here.
And
Wall
Mei does
goes
block
out,
us out.
blocking out Tut and Midas from getting any potential heals. We see the power of those Reaper shotguns in close range there. He does Wraith to just get back into cover. He's 82% on ult. We do see that Brig has rallied. We do see Midas is very close to grab.
We also see Hoodnut here close with the Reaper ult, which is Death Blossom, which could be a lot. And I was going to mention this, but I do think the Reaper switch is good against Mei. Mei can take a lot of damage and heal herself up, but
We do hear the rally going out.
And Baptiste
Does
is
pick out
down.
that Bap.
And we have Annihilation going out.
Annihilation is going
Again,
out in the beat on the enemy team, unfortunately.
a lot of damage for our Reaper to take, but unfortunately.
And unfortunately gets walled off from any heals.
That wall.
So much utility with that wall, blocking off damage and tanks from supports, blocking off just LOS, and able to just create new ways of getting to height as well, which I don't think has really been showcased here. A little accidentally on Lijian. We do see Grepton is ready, does go out. Blizzard goes out as well, and the Emor.
Midas is
on
not
full
down,
charge,
which is great. Midas
staying alive, just not enough, unfortunately. Hoodnut's on objective, staying alive, going for the
Hoodnut is on
going for
against-
the Lucio, stays alive, and they manage to secure the point.
And we are able to take that point. So now what our team is going to have to do here is push the objective down, down the line as far as we can, get to the end. And yeah. Looks like we might have a
So we
switch
might
here for
have a
Midas.
tank
We'll
swap
have to
here
see.
off of the Zarya. And we do see Tut is on the soldier now.
So we are driving the truck down the line. We have Reaper here.
We see our more standard Keene State Overwatch team coming out. We see the Orisa, we see the soldier, the Life Weaver, the Ana.
In the beauty about Overwatch, and one of the main things about this game is its capability to switch heroes.
We see the
on
teleport
fly.
going up, trying to get a flank onto their Ana, I think. Lucio's coming up the stairs anyways. Sojourn does take just a full pump from that shotgun.
But not backing up here.
Does go for the teleport once again, trying to get any of the enemies off guard. You can't actually break that railing there. I've tried a million times.
Ooh, just too much
And
damage there. Focus
unfortunately
down.
does go past that window.
Now our team's gonna have to focus that
Unfortunately,
mentality.
looking at the lamp instead of the May, that's causing even more damage.
Switching back here to Hoodnut. Looking to get a better vantage point on the other team now. Reaper is a sort of character that has limited mobility, but also surprisingly a lot. He can teleport, he can Wraith out, which when he goes into Wraith, he doesn't take any damage. So he has a lot of flexibility there. So he's really good at getting into the point, dishing out damage, healing from that damage a bit, and then escaping.
I was just about to
if he
say,
needs to.
even if he does get caught off guard and doesn't have supports, he can kind of keep himself alive. We do hear the Sojourn pop overclock.
Which is her ultimate.
Our full team almost has all of their ults. We could see something come out here. We do see the tree coming out. Could see a Blossom here. And the beat unfortunately comes out at the same time.
Trying to focus down that Annihilation.
Unfortunately does wake up that Ramatra, but he does
Life
get
gripped out.
Life grip coming out, keeping him alive.
Let's see if our Reaper's able.
Arisa unfortunately does die there in her ult. Swept getting the kill into Habibi.
And it is in overtime. Let's see if any of our teammates are able to get back onto the point. And
Unfortunately
they cannot touch. The Lindenwood University does take this next round. Good match there.
Yeah, good try on the second. We do see Tut on the Soldier getting a play.
Love this little highlight intro. Classic.
It really is. Just getting some nice clean picks and able to just clear off the objective to capture it there.
That was a clean grab for our team. Good to see. So we are going to prepare now for the next map.
Don't know what to expect.
We don't know what we'll expect, but we will be right back. And we are back here. We're going to talk about our next map in this series. We are going to Saravasa next, which is a flashpoint map. So similar to the first mode we played, this is a objective type map, but the difference between this one, instead of being broken up into 3 sort of mini games, this is going to be one longer timed game where our team is going to have to compete with Lindenwood to cap potentially 5 different points around the map. It is best of 5 in this round. We're going to have the first map is always the same, but after that we'll have random points around the large map spawn and open up for our team and Lindenwood to compete against. Trent, can you talk to us a little bit about good sightlines we might have on this map, what characters we might expect from both the Keene State team and the Lindenwood University?
So the thing about Saravasa is there are a lot of good sightlines. There's a lot of good angles that you can, if you have an Ashe, if you have a Hanzo, a Sojourn, a Soldier, you can just get some nice angles, get some nice picks onto the enemies, and get some crucial game-changing picks as well. But the thing about Saravasa is these timers, they tick up faster than a regular control map, than a regular control game. I think is 2 times speed, maybe 3 times speed. I'm not actually sure on the actual increase rate. I don't read the actual nitty-gritty parts of the patch notes, just what's the important meaty parts of it. But there are so many sightlines that can, if you know the map, if you just play the map, know the map, you can take such good advantage of.
Yeah, I think we'll see a large diversity of heroes here. Each sort of area on this map, I think, is a bit different. So we'll have to see what Lindenwood University does. I think we've been seeing that May quite a bit going into the other team, and then we've seen Baptiste a few times now. So
yeah,
hopefully we see those going on again. In
Yeah.
here, I'll just do a quick little sweep so our viewers at home can see what this map looks like. It's beautiful, one of the newer maps in Overwatch 2.
One of my personal favorite looking maps.
So I won't go to specific points, but now, as I say, go to
As you go to the
objective.
specifically first objective.
So this will be our first objective. Our teams will have to compete to cap this point. We'll have to see what she does. I believe the objective is right within this square here. It is.
It is.
So whoever gets here first may have that advantage. We're going to switch over to our team's perspective now.
Remember what we're fighting for.
And we are seeing kind of a switch up here. Not quite what we're used to.
Roadhog.
Yeah, so
Yeah, we love a good Roadhog. We have not seen him here tonight. One of the original Overwatch tanks.
Yeah.
Roadhog is a little bit different than what we've seen. He is a tank that has a lot of health, is able to actually heal himself, but his main capability is dishing out a lot of damage. Some people joke that it's like having another DPS player on your team. So.
And honestly, sometimes if you have the right Roadhog player, it really is just another DPS. His ability to just hook enemies towards him, pump them for as much damage as he can. He does have that big pen too, which he can just toss out and trap enemies with, which we do see him throw down right there.
And there is, he's able to grab somebody,
but it
does.
does. We do see that Junkrat trap coming out as well. Hook missed, unfortunately. We see the self-heal coming out. Maywall going up. She does freeze herself to get her own health back. Emor going down. Nobody on the hook. We do see Hoodknight going down to Kurzak on the Sojourn. Mai is trying to stay alive here, just trying to contest this objective. We do see actually Xiao is on the Kiriko as well. Picks the Mei. Going for the Ramattra. He's so weak here. Needs to get this pick. Unfortunately, he gets full healed. Tut goes down, unfortunately, as well.
Tried to get that hook, unable to connect there.
And this is exactly what we were talking about, where he's just able to keep himself alive. It doesn't matter where his supports are. And we do already see the Sojourn ult coming out as well, and the Kiriko ult.
Unfortunately, not able to keep Roadhog up there, but we do have a couple ults in the game.
We see Hoodnut trying to break that Mei wall, trying to get out of there. Is able to. Does he get the pick onto Sojourn? Unfortunately, does not.
Hoodnut is going to back up here just so he isn't feeding the other team's ultimates. That was a good push on our Keene State team. We were able to get a couple of vital picks there. Let's hope that we can do that in that next fight given with our current mod. But I think we made a couple of really good switches here.
Yes. And we are seeing that we do have a Kiriko. We haven't really seen Kiriko much in play except for just a touch first game. And there's just that RAS specialty of jumping up and feeding face into the enemy front line. Does come out successful. Tut is looking for a pick behind enemy lines. Instantly taking out the Baptiste, taking out that Mei as well. Looking at the Ramatra, which is going to be a massive pick here. Wall goes down. Needs to burn him. Unfortunately, does get his block up.
We are able to cap that point, which is really good job. So the other
and we
team
do
did get
all
to
have
60.
ult here too, which is going to be
good.
absolutely crucial. We do see that the enemies are close to beat. They do have that Ramatra ult and that Mei ult as well, which is not going to be much fun. And this is what I was saying. You just find those random angles, those
Classic
random sight
jump right
lines.
here, lobbying his stuff into the
You don't
the
even
void.
need a. You don't even need a monitor. Just a
doesn't even need to
mouse. You just need a mouse with a functional
Trap
left
is
click.
destroyed there. Let's see if he replaces it quickly, gets destroyed.
He does go for a tire here, which
He's
basically
able-
works as a more mobile.
Lots of damage
ball.
out there from the tire.
冻住，不洗澡。
We do see Tut does have Visor. He could try and go for something
Fell
here.
down there.
Hood does take out both the Sojourn and the Lucio. Crucial picks here. You need to stay on the objective. And
Gotta
just
get that
keep
damage
the enemies
into
off.
Ramatra. Ooh, and
Mei
Mei
goes
is
down. Ramatra needs to go down here as well. He
Ooh.
does to Hoodnut. And that is what we need to see here.
Good job, Keene State Owls,
Good
holding down that
hold.
point. I think this is going to be a W for Keene State College. Now, we do have a couple more rounds. That is one of a few in this map mode, but that's a really good way to start this flashpoint. So another thing, we have our soldiers sprinting onto the point, one of the only characters in Overwatch that can actually run, which is interesting.
Yeah. You'd think with everybody else having legs that they'd be able to, but
Yeah.
no, this is not your average Call of Duty game.
No. Some people do call Soldier, in fact, the Call of Duty character. So
He really
love to see
is.
it.
We do see our team taking a lot of the backline height. So does the enemies, though.
I'm going to switch over to Hoodnut's perspective now a little bit.
Throwing out Trap, trying to just get anybody. Ramatra does get hooked into this. Annihilation
ults
coming
going
out. Trap gets
Annihilation,
hit.
really dangerous. Oh, and we have
We
that
do see that the
Purify.
beat comes out as well on the enemies. They do actually have the Mei switch to a Reaper here. Ramatra just gets burned down. We do need to go secure the point here.
Does look like
Reaper in the back line, not what you want to see. Does get his Wraith off. Tut looking at that Lucio, trying to just burn him down because unfortunately, as a rat, you can't really deal with that.
Much better.
so it's looking like we are pretty equal on the ult game actually we are pretty equal. So we're loading up our ult in the top left and right of the screen. Our viewers at home can see what our ultimate percentage is. Our team and the enemy team can build their ultimate percentage by doing things like healing each other, capping the objective, and by doing damage to
Dealing damage, getting kills, capturing objective, all of that fun stuff.
So we are following Hoodnut here, who is our Junkrat. Does have Rip Tire up. We'll
We
switch
do
over
see
to
that
Soldier
overclock,
ult.
and we are just all pressing Q right here. Tire does get Sojourn and
wow.
the Emor. Visor does pick 2.
Tut
They
with
need to
the
kill the
play of
Reaper.
game.
Maybe.
Maybe. Good job
And
there.
that
Team
is a
kill
team
from
kill,
Keene
and
State
that is
College.
absolutely what
Wow.
we needed there
Tut's
with
on
that going into
fire.
overtime.
Good to see it. Good to see that adrenaline and momentum building up from the Keene State College team. Good job, Owls.
This is absolutely what we need here.
So we are at 17, 20%, 21. So that's building up quickly. The other team is at 99%, so we have to make sure we don't let them cap that.
Yes,
or
and
else
they
we
do
could be looking
also
going into
have
overtime.
that Death Blossom, which is absolutely devastating if we have just enough people on the point. We do see that window coming up.
The Baptiste ult from the other team. So we do have a Baptiste on our team as well, so don't get confused.
But that does go down to the Lucio. We do need a touch here if we want any chance of just contesting here. We see Bap standing on that ledge, keeping his tank alive. And he does unfortunately go down.
Unfortunately, it does look like Lindenwood University is going to cap that point, but don't fret yet. We still have a long match in this flashpoint. So we're 1-1 right now. Heading to the next random opponent.
And we do have that whole hog. We are 40 on the visor. We are almost 60 on the tire.
88.
We almost have window. We almost have Kitsune. We have a lot of good ults here, a lot of powerful ults that can be used and just absolutely devastate the enemies.
And we are poking on the side of this objective here. I'm trying to get a lay of the land, see where people are positioned. Hog's probably looking for a pick, hook some vulnerable player in, most likely a healer, maybe a squishy DPS.
We do see whole hog going out. Beat goes down. Window goes down. Kitsune goes down. Everybody is pressing the Q button. We do see the Blossom go out, but doesn't get shut down.
Ooh, and Annihilation from the enemy team from Mantra.
Unfortunately, not enough for that just higher heal from that Roadhog.
Yeah, there's a lot of damage there.
Lucio trying to boop Midas off of the map. Fortunately for us, does not get it.
Midas here trying to get a couple more bullets into the other player to build up his ult maybe for the next push. Let's switch over to a different perspective. Tut here almost at an ult. He's at 89%.
They do burn down that Ramacho shield, that Ramacho barrier, which is going to be absolutely crucial here.
Let's switch over to one of our healers. We haven't seen too much of what's going on. So we have Swept here on Baptiste, dishing out damage, dishing out healing to our players.
We hear that overclock coming out. Does get Shadow, unfortunately. Tires going out, looking for anybody. Gets the Baptiste.
Very, very good pick from our...
Going after that Reaper, gets him. Looking at that Sojourn. Gets her weak.
Ooh,
does take a lot of damage though.
Very close. Destroyed. Ooh,
and actually gets the Lucio.
Sniped there by the explosive. Very clean Hood Nut.
I don't know about you, but that takes absolutely no brain power to do.
It does for me as a healer main. Now we have Kiriko here. We have Shadowstorm on Kiriko, which is one of our healers. Now she's a very unique healer where she has a couple abilities that can be real game-changing in their capabilities.
Oh, most
She can do a lot of healing. She has her Purify, which can cleanse from a lot of triggers. Oh,
we do see the enemy window coming out. Hoodnut does get the Sojourn. We also see that they have a switch onto Orisa.
Oh, and that cleanse goes out from Kiriko to save the Baptiste on our team. Oop,
and we see the TP
teleports.
coming out as well to keep Hoodnut alive. Whole hog coming out
with a window
just doubling that damage, keeping them away from their Emor field, their lamp.
Oop.
Unfortunately, does not get that hook onto the Orisa.
Setting up here now.
We do see that we have Visor and Kitsune in case things go south. They do pop B. Visor's coming out, so does Tire. Tire doesn't get anybody.
Ooh, and we have a couple picks from Tut maybe? We have one pick. Is he able to get that Reaper? He's trying.
He's trying to, unfortunately does not. The Orisa comes
Orisa
out, needs to stay alive.
Ooh,
Unfortunately gets him. We do see, never mind Caster Curse.
Caster Curse.
It does go down, unfortunately, and we do lose that objective.
Very close game there, 99% and 99%, but Lindenwood does take that point. So we're going to our next flash point, which is probably spot across the map, always naturally.
It's always across the map, and it's always going to be closer to the enemies. You're expecting nothing less from Blizzard.
So we do have Hoodnut here, has one ult. It looks like Sora on...
We do hear that giant metal horse known as Orisa clomping around over there.
We have a pick
Alerting
already
the
on
Junkrat.
the other team's Lucio. Quite important. It's
That's
really important to focus those healers down.
It absolutely is. As a support player, you would definitely know that.
I do. I'm always victim to that. Going down first.
We do see him going for the Orisa, going for the BAP. Is a little blindsided by the far enemies. Does go for Tires, keeping it away from them. Does get that Orisa. As a Junkrat that always tires in front of the enemies. That's what I like to see. Overclock going out. Does get does get Midas. But not trying to stay alive here. And unfortunately does not get the Reaper.
switch
Now
back to Midas here now.
Now we did get a lot of objective percent there. We got a full 37% before they capped it.
Very good to see. So our team just has to regroup here, get their focus on priority targets, and then we can recap this point. We do have a couple ults that are close to being built. We still have that Death Blossom on the other team from the Reaper. We almost have that Lucio beat, so those are some characters that are going to be working.
Yes, that beat is going to be absolutely just a punch in the gut for Midas if he pops his whole hog at the same time.
Yes, especially from a couple of the ults here. But we do have Kiriko built ult as well, which could be big.
And we do see the
Just
Kitsune
too
going
much
down.
damage from
Unfortunately, it
Midas.
goes down. Blossom takes out Tut and is just Hoodnut left alive at a literal 1 HP.
Yeah, unfortunately, Midas did use his ultimate there, which is unfortunate to see.
And
We
do see a
here.
switch to Wrecking Ball, who is a tank, mostly used for his mobility.
Very
just-
unique tank.
Yeah, very mobile, very fast, not very tanky tank.
But he can dish out a lot of damage and really disorient the other team. A lot of damage coming in for him.
Does
Gets some
move
healing
to
up.
stay alive here. The window does come down from Swept.
It is
Hood
overtime
does
now.
go down. It's overtime, as you
Now
call.
we're just trying to keep on that point. The Arisa ult coming in.
We see the enemy window coming down as well, and it's just unfortunately just too much damage. And Lindenwood
Does take
just
that point.
unfortunately take the point and take the day.
Yeah, so that will be our last game for tonight. It is best of 3. Oh, and we have Tut with the
We
play of the
do
game.
have the
Again,
Tut
my
play.
favorite play of the game highlight here. Now that was a very tough game for Keene State College, but I think we played very well on our end. You know,
Yeah, very
we've been
smart
practicing
plays,
first
very
game
good
of the
plays.
season. We have a lot coming down the point. So we're gonna be right back and regroup before we do a little bit of a talk, right, Trent?
Yeah. All right, that is going to be the matches for the night. Next stream is going to be same time next Tuesday around 8 o'clock. Matches will actually begin at 8:15.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
And we have Smash as our next stream for Keene State Esports.
Take a look at our schedule if you need to check back. We also have a Rocket League match on Monday again. Feel free to tune in. My name's Morgan Pretty again.
I'm Trenchlag.
Thank you all for coming. It was great to cast for y'all, and we'll see you next week, hopefully.
Yeah.